Welcome to the garden. About half of my cilantro plants changed to a purple color when the temperatures dropped this fall, and I'm going to find out if the color change alters its flavor. I decided to subject my family, including my kids, to a blind taste test, and here's what we learned. I keep my winter cilantro under a row cover. This cilantro has seen temperatures as low as 10 degrees this winter. I overwintered cilantro last winter and got a huge harvest in the spring when it took off. The mistake I made at that time was to not plant it early enough to harvest over the winter, because it was just too small to get much out of it. This year, I think it's about the right height for overwintering. I decided to let much of last year's cilantro go to seed and collected the seeds so I could broadcast seed the cilantro and plant it as a big bed like this. I've still got a box of cilantro seed, which is actually the same thing as coriander seed you can eat. One regret I have about my garden this winter is that I've covered so much of it with fall leaves when I should have planted the beds with living roots. It wouldn't have been hard to terminate a winter cover crop of cilantro after all. I aspire to keep living roots in the ground all year round from now on. Now, you might be wondering, why is the cilantro turning purple? I googled it and I found a million different possible reasons, from phosphorus deficiencies to it being too hot. But I also googled to make sure they were safe to eat, and you can be assured purple cilantro is not dangerous to eat. It's just purple. It contains more anthocyanins, which are actually healthy for you and might prevent cancer and a bunch of other dread diseases. We had 7 participants in our taste test. I knew that none of my 5 children would give me anything but the honest truth, so I included them. Out of the 7, all but 2 identified by taste which cilantro was green and which wasn't, but all 7 agreed that there wasn't much difference in taste. There was a little more bitterness to the purple cilantro, but it still tasted pretty good. So the takeaway here is, don't worry if your overwintered cilantro changes color. The taste is still pretty good, especially when you consider that you're probably just adding cilantro to something else you're eating, rather than chewing a mouthful of cilantro like these poor people. See you in the garden.